In the heart of France, just outside Paris, lies a palace. It is a palace of unparalleled splendor and grandeur. This is the Palace of Versailles. But it wasn't always this way. Versailles began as a much humbler structure. It was a hunting lodge. The year was 1623. King Louis XIII, a lover of the outdoors, chose this location. It was a strategic choice. The area was teeming with game. It was perfect for the king's favorite pastime. The lodge was modest. It was built of brick and stone. It was surrounded by forests. It was a far cry from the majestic palace it would become. But it held the seeds of something grander. Louis XIII had ambitious plans for his hunting retreat. He would soon begin to expand it. Louis XIII died in 1643. His son, Louis XIV, ascended to the throne. Louis XIV, known as the Sun King, envisioned a palace symbolizing his absolute power. Versailles would be the envy of the world. As a child, he fled Paris during the Fronde uprising. This fueled his desire for a secure palace outside Paris. Versailles was the ideal location. In 1661, Louis XIV entrusted the project to architect Louis Leveau and painter Charles Lebrun. They transformed Versailles into a palace fit for the Sun King. The transformation of Versailles was nothing short of extraordinary. Louis XIV poured immense resources into the project. He employed thousands of workers. The best architects, artists, and craftsmen in France were summoned to Versailles. They labored tirelessly to realize the king's vision. The original hunting lodge was enveloped by a new palace. It was built in stages, each stage more magnificent than the last. The palace grew to an immense size. It sprawled across acres of land. It became a symbol of the king's power and the grandeur of France. The palace was just one part of Louis XIV's grand vision. He also envisioned magnificent gardens. These gardens would be an integral part of Versailles. They would be a testament to the king's power over nature itself. At the heart of the Palace of Versailles lies the iconic Hall of Mirrors. This dazzling hall, stretching 240 feet, is a testament to the opulence and power of the French monarchy. 17 arched windows offer breathtaking views of the gardens. Opposite them, 17 mirrored arches create an illusion of infinite space. The ceiling is adorned with Charles Lebrun's paintings, depicting the history and victories of Louis XIV. It was here that treaties were signed, and history was made. Section 5. Gardens of Extravagance, André Le Nôtre's masterpiece. Beyond the palace walls, Louis XIV commissioned the renowned landscape architect André Le Nôtre to create gardens that would be the envy of the world. Le Nôtre's genius transformed the flat, marshy land surrounding the palace into a masterpiece of formal French gardens. Geometrically designed parterres, adorned with colorful flowers and intricate patterns, stretched out before the palace. Fountains, sculptures, and groves were strategically placed throughout the gardens, creating a symphony of visual delights. Water flowed abundantly, cascading down staircases and erupting from fountains, symbolizing Louis XIV's control over nature. The gardens of Versailles were not merely decorative, they were an extension of the palace itself, a stage for courtly life. Louis XIV used the gardens for grand fetes, theatrical performances, and promenades. They were a place to see and be seen, a symbol of the king's power and the refinement of French culture. Section 6. Life at the Court of Versailles. A world of etiquette and intrigue. The Palace of Versailles was not just a royal residence, it was a bustling city unto itself. Thousands of courtiers, nobles, officials, servants, and artists lived and worked within its walls, their lives revolving around the rhythms of the court. Life at Versailles was governed by a strict code of etiquette. Every aspect of daily life, from waking up to going to bed, was dictated by elaborate rituals and ceremonies. The king's every move was a public spectacle, surrounded by courtiers vying for his favor. Intrigue and gossip thrived in this confined and hierarchical society. Alliances were forged and broken, ambitions soared and crashed, and reputations could be made or destroyed in an instant. The court of Versailles was a stage for both great dramas and petty rivalries, all playing out against the backdrop of unparalleled splendor. Section 7. The reign of Louis XV, Rococo elegance, and royal mistresses. After the death of Louis XIV in 1715, his great-grandson Louis XV ascended to the throne. The new king continued to embellish Versailles, adding his own personal touch to the palace. During Louis XV's reign, the Rococo style, with its emphasis on elegance, curves, and delicate ornamentation, came into vogue. Louis XV commissioned the construction of new apartments within the palace, including the exquisite Petit Trianon for his mistress, Madame de Pompadour. The gardens were also expanded and redesigned, with the addition of new fountains, groves, and the charming Hameau de la Reine, or Queen's Hamlet. The reign of Louis XV was marked by a more relaxed atmosphere at court, compared to the strict formality of his predecessor's time. While Louis XIV had been the absolute monarch, Louis XV faced growing dissent and criticism, which would eventually contribute to the French Revolution. Section 8: Revolution and Transformation Versailles in the late 18th century. The extravagance of Versailles and the perceived indifference of the monarchy to the plight of the common people fueled growing unrest in France. In 1789, the French Revolution erupted, forever altering the course of French history. On October 5, 1789, a mob of Parisian women marched on Versailles, demanding bread and forcing Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette to return to Paris. The royal family left Versailles, never to return. The palace, once a symbol of absolute power, was abandoned and fell into disrepair. During the French Revolution, much of the palace's furniture and art were sold off or destroyed. Versailles became a symbol of the excesses of the monarchy and a reminder of the people's power. Section 9: From Palace to Museum, Preserving a Legacy. After the French Revolution, Versailles faced an uncertain future. Napoleon Bonaparte considered using it as a residence, but ultimately decided against it. It was not until the reign of King Louis Philippe in the 19th century that Versailles was rescued from oblivion. Louis Philippe, recognizing the historical and cultural significance of Versailles, ordered its restoration and transformation into a museum dedicated to all the glories of France. The palace was meticulously restored, and works of art were brought back to recreate its former splendor. The Museum of the History of France at Versailles was inaugurated in 1837, showcasing paintings, sculptures, and other artifacts that celebrated French history from the Middle Ages to the Revolution. Versailles was no longer a royal residence, but a national treasure, a testament to France's rich past. Section 10: The Palace of Versailles today, a World Heritage Site. Today, the Palace of Versailles stands as one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world, attracting millions of visitors each year. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognized for its exceptional universal value as a masterpiece of human creative genius and a symbol of royal power and extravagance. The palace and its gardens have been meticulously restored and preserved, offering visitors a glimpse into the opulent world of the French monarchy. Visitors can marvel at the grandeur of the Hall of Mirrors, wander through the meticulously manicured gardens, and imagine the lives of the kings, queens, and courtiers who once inhabited this extraordinary place. Section 11: A Glimpse into the Past, Visiting Versailles. A visit to Versailles is a journey back in time. As you step through the palace gates, you enter a world of grandeur and spectacle. The sheer scale of the palace and gardens is awe-inspiring. Begin your exploration in the palace itself, where you can wander through the state apartments, marvel at the opulence of the Queen's bedchamber, and stand in awe beneath the shimmering chandeliers of the Hall of Mirrors. Be sure to allow ample time to explore the vast gardens. Lose yourself in the labyrinthine paths, discover hidden groves, and be mesmerized by the symphony of water and sculpture that unfolds before you. Section 12: The Enduring Allure of Versailles. The Palace of Versailles is more than just a historical monument. It is a testament to the enduring power of art, architecture, and human ambition. It is a place where history comes alive, where the echoes of the past still resonate in the present. Whether you are a history enthusiast, an art lover, or simply someone who appreciates beauty and grandeur, a visit to Versailles is an unforgettable experience. It is a chance to step back in time and immerse yourself in a world of unparalleled splendor and intrigue. The Palace of Versailles, with its majestic architecture, breathtaking gardens, and captivating history, continues to enthrall and inspire visitors from around the globe.